Hey everyone, David Schwartz just showed up and confirmed what we've been piecing together for years now. No fluff, we're going straight to the good stuff. This is absolutely thrilling. Ripple could sell the right to receive the tokens released from escrow, or even sell the accounts the escrows complete into. But the XRP still can't circulate until their release date. And here comes Digital Perspective, Brad Kimes, to explain why this is such a big deal. Listen to this one.
CEO David Schwartz confirms the company can sell rights to locked XRP in escrow. Well, oh, this is what I've believed since before I was ever in YouTube. Before I ever got into YouTube land. Ripple's chief technology officer has cleared up one of the most debated questions in the XRP community. Yes, Ripple can legally sell or transfer the rights to receive XRP that's currently locked in its escrow accounts. Nanny, nanny, boo-boo, kiss my ass. Every single one of you haters that attacked us for 7 or 8 years now can kiss my ass.
Okay, we're good. That second clip can stay on the shelf. But seriously, look at Brad Kimes right now. The guy is practically buzzing with energy. Can't blame him, though. Years of people throwing shade and pushing back on this exact topic. That tweet must feel like sweet validation. So where did this start? Vincent Van Code kicked things off with a thread saying XRP total supply is really 100 billion. Of course, 35 billion is locked away, so all market caps use 65 billion times last traded price. Go track down that thread if you're curious. He unpacked the whole thing, but I'm skipping the play-by-play here. What I do want to show you is this brand new clip with Brad Garlinghouse. I'm pulling it up now. He's doing this one alongside Tom Lee. Listen to this.
Tom, if I may, I think you're demonstrating that we don't have a global consensus about crypto. Even in this conversation, and I agree that it still is early, partly because there is not a global consensus about some of these things.
I agree.
And I think some of the use cases were still extremely early in terms of scaled use cases. Circle is certainly one example that has started to have a scaled use case around a stablecoin. But I think the crypto industry, I agree, the next 16 years, I think will be better than the last 16 years because you'll finally see applications emerging that up until now have just been the store of value story or speculation.
Dude, this interview is packed. We could literally make a highlight reel that runs for hours. Okay, so picture this. Solana's out here basically launching a full-blown campaign against XRP fans because of the Western Union collab. But that nobody's talking about, Solana straight up wrote a $50 million check to Western Union for what? A measly 6-month partnership. Now, if you actually pull up Western Union's books and scroll through the past 4 years, you'll notice something kind of alarming. They've bled out $800 million in revenue. That's not a typo. These dinosaur payment systems are literally watching their empire crumble in real time. To me, this screams desperation from Western Union. They're trying anything to keep their head above water. And honestly, I think we're watching their customer base evaporate before our eyes. Because let's be real here. Who on earth is going to waste time trekking to some Western Union storefront or dealing with their ancient app when cooler, faster, dirt-cheap alternatives keep flooding the market? Get this, though. Cross-border payments globally, we're staring at a $189 trillion opportunity just sitting there. Western Union grabs about $100 billion of that action. And guess what happens every year? That number shrinks like clockwork. You caught that news about DBS has partnered with Ripple and Franklin Templeton to offer trading and lending solutions for tokenized money market funds on the XRP ledger? This collaboration uses the XRP ledger to tokenize Franklin Templeton's money market fund, SG Benji token, and Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin, enabling institutional and accredited investors to trade and use these tokens as collateral within DBS Digital Exchange. Let me give you a bit more context here. DBS has partnered with Ripple and Franklin Templeton to launch the fund here. This partnership marks a significant move towards the integration of blockchain technology and regulated digital assets into mainstream finance, with direct benefits for Ripple and XRP. This partnership details expands DBS Exchange DDEX, now lists RLUSD and SG Benji, Franklin Templeton's tokenized money market funds, on the XRP ledger. So what's actually happening on the ground? Institutional and accredited investors can trade RLUSD and SG Benji tokens, allowing 24/7 rebalancing into yield-bearing stable assets and near-instant settlements, something unavailable in traditional finance. This setup enables investors to tokenize assets as collateral, lending transactions, and potentially for repo markets. And here's the scale we're talking about. Repo markets process anywhere from 2 trillion to 8 trillion in clearing every single day. Okay, so just stop and think about this for a second. What happens when the XRP ledger and Ripple start processing even a slice of that massive volume? We're talking price levels that most people can't even wrap their heads around right now. And the crazy part? This is literally just one application that big institutional money is exploring with the XRP ledger. Man, I'm not gonna lie. This stuff makes my heart race a little bit. The energy around this space right now is absolutely electric. It's like I can't even check my phone without stumbling across another major partnership or some game-changing announcement. I feel lucky to be riding this wave with all of you. I'm pretty sure you're feeling it too. So why is this good for Ripple and XRP? XRP ledger adoption. Franklin Templeton chose the XRP ledger due to its high throughput and low fees, demonstrating large-scale institutional validation of the XRP ledger for regulated asset tokenization. Let that sink in. Franklin Templeton looked at Solana, looked at Ethereum, and said, nah, we're going with XRP for these serious institutional applications. These aren't random startups. These are the titans of global finance. So here's the beautiful part. Once Ripple locks down solutions for these massive players, they can completely ignore the tiny deals. Solana's basically left fighting over table scraps, because you never hear about them closing anything remotely close to this scale. Anyway, I thought you all deserved to know about this, because it's shaping up to be a really big deal. Alright, so let me paint the picture here. CME Group just dropped some fascinating data. 9.9 thousand XRP futures contracts traded on October 27th. We're basically sitting just under 10,000 contracts, which is absolutely nuts. Now, let me explain why this deserves your attention, because what they're doing is giving you these futures products packed with information, complete with charts breaking down the micro futures, pricing data, volume statistics, all those critical details you need. So what exactly are we looking at? Well, access to capital-efficient XRP exposure. XRP and micro XRP contracts offer a cost-effective way to gain exposure to the price of XRP, all while providing transparency. Price discovery and risk management capabilities enjoy greater flexibility by choosing how to trade using an outright contract block or BTIC trading. Basically, you've got choices, and having choices is everything in this space. Now, here's where things get really exciting. Institutional access and legitimacy. CME futures products are widely regulated by institutional investors as providing safer and regulated access to crypto markets. Price discovery and transparency trading occurs in transparent CFTC-regulated environment with reference rates, aiding fair price discovery for XRP. Risk management tools. Professional traders as an institutional can hedge physical XRP holdings or take directional bets using futures options, improving market liquidity and providing risk management for portfolios. The benefit, of course, the XRP ecosystem and holders is broader investor-based institutional professional traders who require regulated derivatives access can now participate in XRP market, expanding the addressable investor base, greater liquidity. What we're witnessing here is the floodgates opening for serious money to enter the XRP space through legitimate, regulated channels while simultaneously creating better pricing mechanisms and risk tools that elevate the entire market. This liquidity conversation? Yeah, we've been hammering on this point for ages now. Liquidity times 3, people. When CME starts seeing those juicy trading volumes, guess what happens? It doesn't just stay there. It bleeds right over into the spot XRP market. Translation? Your spreads get squeezed down, your capital works harder for you. This whole thing screams market maturity. Now, why should you care about derivatives launching? Simple. It's like the market putting on a suit and tie for the first time. This is graduation day, basically. Remember Bitcoin? CME rolled out futures back in December 17. Ethereum followed the same playbook. Hold on, scratch that. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum went through this exact phase. New strategies and volume. The availability of both outright and micro contracts allows diverse trading strategies. Pretty sure that line's been sitting on the website. Oh, and speaking of timing, the European Central Bank just dropped something new that we need to talk about. There's this huge gathering happening as we speak. I mean, seriously, take a look at everyone who showed up. EU leaders packed into one room. And guess who's front and center? Christine Lagarde herself. Now here's where my brain starts going wild. What if they're in there hammering out details about the digital euro? CBDCs might be getting discussed too. Oh, and digital IDs? That could totally be part of the conversation. How's Europe actually going to roll all this out? Because let me tell you, the info we've been getting about the digital euro and the tech behind it, pure guesswork at this point. Which brings up the million-dollar question. Will they choose our go-to cryptocurrency? Could Ripple get the nod? Or maybe they'll build everything on private ledgers instead. Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. Time will tell us everything. Anyway, that's where I'm leaving things for now. Hopefully this got you thinking too. This story just felt way too exciting not to jump on immediately and share with all of you. Hope your day is going incredibly well. Really appreciate you being here and giving me your time. Until next time, take care.